Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth came out recently, and RGG has been saying that this is the longest Like a Dragon game and that you shouldn't binge play it. Guess what I did? I played it in all the free time I had. I had 3 whole days straight of free time, so I just played it every waking hour. Every day I'd come home from work, I'd play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and then every day I had a day off, I'd play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth all day. The reason why I did this was because I was going to Japan in less than 2 weeks, so I had to finish the game. I had to make sure I had access to Twitter and YouTube without the fear of spoilers. And obviously I had to know what's happening with Kiryu because he had cancer and everything, so I was wondering, is he gonna die at the end? Like, what's happening? What's going on here? And then they were making a big deal out of returning characters, and I genuinely cried watching the bucket list trailer.
I should get going.
All right.
Goodbye, Date-san. Stay safe.
Goodbye, Date-san. But yeah, miraculously, I finished the game within like 54 hours, I think, which is less than what RGG said it'd be. They said it'd be like 60 to 70 hours. So, joke's on you. Although I will be honest, just grinding through the story is not the optimal way to play this game because there's so much side content and there's so much time spent introducing that side content. I was just like, come on, get back to the story. But yeah, normally that would have been fine if I was just playing at my own pace, but again, I was leaving the country and I would have no access to my video game for a month. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about actually what the story means because I was looking at the reactions for the story. There isn't a lot of discussion about the game's ending. The most I've seen is a Reddit discussion on the Yakuza Reddit, and it seems like a lot of people were underwhelmed by the ending. And I'm not going to be honest. I am going to be honest. I was too. Especially when you look back to a game like a Dragon 7, where it was super emotional at the end. Ichiban was pouring out his heart, and then the guy he was trying to, prevent committing suicide was murdered at the very end. That was super emotional, and you were kind of expecting something like that. But it was actually stated that Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth story would be a lot lighter in tone, and I think the marketing kind of warped my perception of what the game would be because there was this whole Kiryu cancer thing going on, and I thought we would have like a super emotional ending with Kiryu dying or something, or getting over his cancer. I don't know. More likely dying. Because it would suck if they did this thing where Kiryu was dying of cancer and all these returning characters were coming back and he just didn't die. That would be super underwhelming and anticlimactic. But then the ending was also just left ambiguous. We don't really know what's happening with Kiryu. Kiryu has been freed from Daidoji. He doesn't have to pretend that he's dead anymore so he can see Haruka again. And for now, it seems like he's getting cancer treatment, but there's no confirmation that he got rid of it completely or if it's just prolonging his lifespan a little bit more. And I think they should go for the prolonging lifespan because, again, like I said, if they did all this bucket list stuff, all these returning characters to bring closure stuff, he has to die at some point from cancer. He is not allowed to beat it. He has to die. But after sitting on the story for a bit, if he died in this game, it would actually go against everything this game is about, which is infinite wealth. But what is this infinite wealth, you ask? Because this game actually isn't very too clear on that. But ultimately, this game is about second chances. It starts with Ichiban trying to reform old former Yakuza and bring them into like the normal civilian world, while the antagonist, Ebina, he wants to kill all the Yakuza members or kind of send them out to their doom, dealing with like nuclear waste and all that, and hopefully just get a bunch of them killed on an isolated island. Therefore, being able to atone for your sins and not just dying or being killed of it is priceless. The fact that you can continue living on and turn your life around is way more valuable than just physical money. Therefore, if you're given a second chance, you have infinite wealth in a way. And that's why they let Kiryu live. That's the whole theme. He has to stay alive for this theme to work. Again, I still think he should die of cancer later, but I think it works fabulously if what is happening right now is he's prolonging his life. Because throughout the story, he's made it clear he's given up. He's not fighting for his life. He's just continuing doing what he needs to do until he dies. He doesn't want the wealth of that second chance. But of course, throughout the story, a bit of Ichiban starts rubbing off on him, and if you do the actual bucket list stuff, Date-san confronts him about this too. Because he has cancer, it is what it is, but when he's not fighting to extend his life at least, then it shows that he has a complete lack of appreciation for life. He doesn't appreciate the infinite wealth he could gain from even like an extra month of living. And I guess that's why one of the core scenes in the ending was Kiryu begging for forgiveness from Ebina, the main villain. Because Kiryu was the chairman of the Tojo clan at some point, and he just didn't do anything to fix the Yakuza. He didn't make a change for the better. Instead, he handed the Tojo clan off to some other guy, and he ruined it, and then Kiryu just handed it off to some kid. And so because there's some fault in Kiryu, because he failed to fix the Yakuza when he had the power to do so, he needs to apologize and he needs to be forgiven. Now, it's never really shown that Ebina forgives Kiryu, but based on the fact that Kiryu is now in the hospital getting treatment, I think it's very safe to assume that Ebina did forgive Kiryu. And just based on the scene being so dramatic, like, it would be a waste of a scene if that wasn't the case. I think there were also concerns that certain characters were not allowed to be redeemed, but I honestly don't think it's too much of a problem. Ichiban is a very nice character. Like, he's very caring, he's very forgiving. So him forgiving the terrible people is honestly fine. It's just very much in his character, and even in the last game, sure, he had a very personal connection with Ryo Aoki, but Ryo Aoki has still done a lot of things that a lot of people would not have forgiven him for, even with the biases that Ichiban held. So if that's fine, then this new thing should be fine as well. Because just remember, Ichiban isn't just saying to go into hiding and make a better life for yourself. He is asking the bad people to atone, to turn themselves into the police. Because they still have to do the right thing, they still have to serve their time. And then when they get out of prison, if that even happens, because I feel like a lot of things that happen in these games are very life sentenceable, but it's just fiction, so it's fine. But if you're willing to turn your life around and be a good person after serving a sentence, Ichiban is there to support you, and I think that's fine. That's actually very awesome. I could never be the bigger man. I would hate you forever, so very good on Ichiban. He's very cool for that. And I think what makes his willingness to forgive even stronger in this is literally because he doesn't have that bias that he did with Ryo Aoki. This guy is just a guy he met like a few weeks ago, a few days ago even. The game's ending is a little bit open-ended though, but I do think that is kind of the whole point. We're supposed to look forward to the next installment. Most Like a Dragon games do tie up pretty nicely, so you're not really itching for a sequel. And I think that open-endedness was supposed to make you feel like you want to see more. You're excited for what's to come, instead of having it all wrap up and be like, yep, that's it, that's done. I can die now. You know, like, your life is not complete. You have more to live for, guys. You have more Like a Dragon to play. Stay alive for us. I really like what the actor of Ichiban said about Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. He said something along the lines of life being unpredictable, but after playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, you can look up at the shining sky with a smile on your face. And I think that's how I do feel now after thinking about it a bit. No matter what mistakes I made, I want to make up for them now and move forward with my life. Like, thank you, Like a Dragon 8, for changing my life. Now I'm gonna go to Japan, guys. Goodbye.